Hi everyone, this is me again, and welcome to episode 4 of this new series where we break down real product concepts in a simple and practical way. In this episode, we'll talk about Jira boards, sprint boards, agile practices, sprints, backlogs, and how they work hand in hand. Each video will focus on one concept that every tech product manager should understand. So, before we go further, let me take you to my screen for a better understanding on how these things work. Most successful technology companies don't build products all at once. Instead, they build them step by step. They start small, test quickly, learn fast, and then improve continuously. This method is called agile development, and it completely changed how modern software is built. Now, let's understand why this approach even became necessary. Gone are the days when software was built using a traditional method we all know as waterfall. In waterfall, everything happens in sequence. First, requirements, then design, then development, then testing, and finally, release. This really sounds structured, but here's the problem. By the time the product is ready, months, sometimes years have passed, and in that time, customer needs may have already changed. So, the companies have now started asking a simple question. What if we build faster and learn from users while building? And that's where Agile comes in to flip the entire approach. Instead of building everything at once, teams break the product into small pieces called increments, and each increment is built in a short time cycle called a sprint, which focuses on a few more steps as compared to what we do in the waterfall model. They are plan, build, test, release, feedback, and repeat. Now, planning means decide what needs to be built, why it matters, and how the team will approach it. Build is to develop the product or feature based on the agreed plan and requirements. Then comes testing, which is to check that everything works properly and fix issues before launching it. Then we have the release process through which the product or feature is launched to the users. Then it's time to take the feedback for the user input, team learnings, and performance insights. And finally, repeat what you've learned to improve the product in the next cycle. Now, let's further understand sprints and the way they are built, run, and work. A sprint usually lasts 1 to 2 weeks. In that short time, a small working version of the product is built, tested, and sometimes even released to users. This means instead of waiting months, teams start getting real feedback within days. And this is where Agile becomes powerful, because now you're not guessing what users want, you're learning directly from them. Now, let's take a simple example. Imagine you're building a food delivery app. In the old model, you would build the entire app first, login, search, cart, payments, tracking, and everything else, and only then release it. But in Agile, you start with just one core feature, like ordering food from nearby restaurants, and then release it. Now, see how users behave. Then in the next sprint, you add tracking, then payments, then recommendations. Step by step, the product evolves. Now, let's talk about the team behind Agile. A typical Agile team includes product manager, engineers, designers, and QA testers. Each role plays a part, but everyone works together continuously. The product manager defines what to build. Engineers decide how to build it. Designers shape how it looks and feels. QA ensures it works correctly. And all the work is tracked in something called a product backlog. A product backlog is basically a prioritized list of features, tasks, and improvements that needs to be built for a product for whatever reason. Think of it like a priority list of features. The most important items are picked first, and every sprint starts with the sprint planning, where the team decides what exactly are we building in this sprint. Sprint planning is basically a meeting or a series of meetings where the team decides what work to complete in the upcoming sprint and how to do it in the best possible manner, approach, and the resources. Now, there is something I'm sure you all know called daily stand ups, a short 10-15 minute check ins to track progress. Daily stand up is basically a short daily meeting where the team shares what they did yesterday, what they'll do today, and if there are any blockers needing attention now. Usually, the Scrum Master facilitates daily stand ups, but the meeting is owned by the development team. Now, who should attend? The people responsible and accountable are the development team, Scrum Master, and the product owner. Anyone else can join, but they typically listen only, not participate. And finally, at the end of the sprint, there's a review. Sprint review is basically a meeting where the team shows what they built in the sprint and gathers feedback from stakeholders. And a retrospective is also conducted after that. In that, the team reflects on the sprint to identify what went well, what didn't, and how to improve it next time. This continuous loop of building, learning, and improving is what makes Agile so effective. But let's be clear, Agile is not just a process, it's a mindset. It means being flexible, it means accepting change, it means focusing on value, not just the output. Because at the end of the day, software isn't about writing code. It's about solving real problems for real users. And Agile helps teams do exactly that, faster, smarter, and better. So now you understand how modern software is built. Understanding Agile, sprints, and backlogs is essential for every product manager, because great products are not just designed, they are delivered through structured development processes. But there's one thing we haven't explored yet. How do teams actually decide what goes into development, what's important, and how to figure it out? In the next video, we'll break down product backlogs and prioritization, the real engine behind Agile teams. Till then, take care, and I'll see you in the next video soon.